long before Dungeons and Dragons, long before fantasy, long before I was a wargamer. I played soldiers, played with my Airfix soldiers, but I wasn't a wargamer. I'm talking 1971 and back, probably to 67, 68. We used to go on holiday to a caravan park in Skegness, a place called Ingermills. And every morning we had the freedom to leave the caravan and go down to this tiny little shop just through the gateway, and we'd have some money because we saved up all year. I do remember one year we used to put money in a jar, and my middle brother he'd got lots of half crowns in his jar, and I'd only got pennies, but they were about the same size. And I tried to persuade him that he only had silver ones and I had bronze ones, and we should swap a few round so we both had a mixture. It sort of worked until my mum found out. But you know, you could get a lot with 2 and 6. And then we'd split it. We're there for a week, so we divide it by 7. And the general feeling was try not to spend too much during the week, and then on the last day, Friday usually, get off a big blowout. Go magnificent, go mental on the dodgems with a candy floss and a toffee apple that nobody liked. Fighting off wasps. So I've digressed. We go into this little shop and maybe get some sweets, perhaps get some pop. I've always been a big Lucasade fan myself. I don't know if that's strictly pop, but that's what I can tell you. And my brother used to get American comics. The only one of those I really liked was Spider-Man. Perhaps I equated that teenage, when he was at school, before he becomes all-out Spider-Man, working in newspaper offices, but where's at school with the bully, and he's trying to hide his powers, and all of you is thinking, belt him, just belt him, please. I wish I could do that. There was a guy in a British comic, and I think he was called Billy Bins, and when he put his magic glasses on, he became fantastic. So it was like the kid that I was at school that nobody picked. He didn't get picked for anything. And he put his glasses on, and all of a sudden he could bowl out everybody. Yeah, so there was that. Oh, and my dad's favourite, I'm really digressing now because this has got nothing to do with what we're talking about, was this guy, and he drunk some sort of antifreeze, and he couldn't freeze, maybe being the eagle, and the headline was always, it's 40 below, but it can't freeze Frosty. And he was always in a predicament where it relied upon him not freezing to death, and he was pretty much always in his underpants. Well, that's my memory of it. It's psychologically scarred. Right, so I've got rid of that, and I've got rid of all the people who've tuned in to see a sensible programme. So now let's me and you have a proper talk, because what I bought while our family were buying comics and sherbet thingies, I bought these Commando comics. The oldest I've still got, I think it's probably this one, Sounds of Fear. That's 1971. Pretty sure I was getting them before that. And I used to get one every morning. I loved them. I loved the pictures. I loved the stories. My favourite was, and I can actually remember it, it must be early 70s, was called Save the Chindits. And I learnt all the thing what Chindits were, and all about Burma and so on. And yet you got right nice little package. Sometimes there was a tiny little story at the back. Covers, the covers were all really nice, sort of coloured artwork. Commando comics. They're redoing them. I noticed the other day you can get them on digital download. Really, you can't beat doing that. Yeah. Sorry guys, you can't beat that. You can't do that with a digital download. The other book, I'm sorting out some shelves because I'm putting some of my Middle-earth armies out on the shelves where books have been, because we've got some grown-up bookcases for books to go on that don't belong in the Wargames room. So I'm making some space. The other thing I found tucked away was that. I know. Now this is a bit late for me. This is 83, I think. It's the first one of these published by Penguin originally. Well, I was a scout leader by that time, sort of 30 years old, and we used to sort of regularly go camping, because that my scouts camp, it's old school. And all the lads, especially the older teenage patrol leaders seconds, used to have one of those. And when I was a scout back in the 50s and 60s, used to sit around on logs and sing silly songs and tell campfire stories. But by 1983, everyone was sat around going, "We've got a dice, we've got a pencil, I want to go to page 82, I've just opened the door. I wish I'm not bothered, run away, back to page 16. And you make all these decisions, don't you? Do you remember them? If you don't remember them, you might not know what I'm talking about. I know some of you remember them. So you start, and you've got characteristics a bit like D&D, and you have a dice and a pencil, and you can restore things, and you get a chart if you want to fill it in. No, but I never did. I used to use a bit of paper. I didn't want to spoil my book. So you start off with Rumours, not the album by Fleetwood Mac, proper Rumours. And you start, so you read that, and a little picture. And at the bottom it says, "You peer into the gloom to see dark, slimy walls with pools of water on the stone floor in front of you. The air is cold and dank. You light your lantern and step warily into the darkness. Cobwebs brush your face. You hear the scurrying of tiny feet. Rats, most likely. You set off into the cave. After a few yards, you arrive at a junction. Will you turn west, go to page 71, or east, go to page 278? Now, for those of you who've stuck with this, choose 71 or 278. I'm giving you 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. Those of you who went west, page 71. I'm not doing the whole book. You'd be glad to know. There is a right-hand turn to the north in the passage. Cautiously, you approach a sentry post on the corner, and as you look in, you see a strange, goblin-like creature. If you try to tiptoe past him, test your luck. If you are lucky, he does not wake up. He remains snoring loudly. Go to 301. If you are unlucky, you step with a crunch on loose ground and his eyes flick open. Turn to 248 or return to the place where you set off because you don't want to get past him at all. And then you'd go to another bit. And then the other guy, 278 you guys went to. I know you've been patient, well done. Going to 278 now. Here we are. 278. The passageway soon comes to an end at a locked wooden door. You listen at the door but can hear nothing. Will you try to charge the door down, go to 156, or would you rather turn around and go back to the junction, 92? Or use magic or a lockpick or all the things we would do as role players, but you don't get to do that in there, but they are fun. It's very easy to lose where you're up to, going backwards and forwards. I used to pretend I must have gone through some sort of chaotic vortex and got lost. Anyway, apropos of nothing, I'm tidying up some shelves and I've found them. But I thought you might as well have a look. It's not what I'm supposed to be doing today. I'll show you what I'm supposed to be doing, right? So I'm supposed to be doing the things that are on this board here. I'm supposed to be doing that. I suppose you could call it them versus now, because tomorrow I've got a war game, fantasy war game. But I'm starting to empty these cupboards and shelves now to put my armies on for Middle Earth. Got all my rule books up there, look, that's looking good. Anyway, you know the deal. Ta-ra, Chuck.